Hello Forza fans, it's time to take the Mustang Shelby GT500 out in this week's Spec series. Tyres last the whole race distance, so unfortunately there's no strategy in play for this one. As a result, I've tried to tune it to go around corners as best I possibly can. Something this car really doesn't like doing. In fact, in hindsight, I might have been able to put more oversteer in, but what I'd already done felt sensible at the time. We're starting off then in the first of 4 races at Barcelona, where I've qualified second on the grid. This is the shorter version of Barcelona. I get a nice clonk into turn 1. I was kind of expecting it because these cars really are difficult to go around corners. I kept it tucked in there, but I do get turned in on absolute textbook Forza. And I am down into 4th place. I close in there, but just carry a bit too much speed, keep it on the circuit, but lose a bit of time to the guys in front. So we skip ahead then to lap 2, where I get on the brakes just at the right point, maybe run it a little wide, but the 3 in front of me all go very, very deep, so at least the practice before the race served me well. And the car, Bonino, tucks in behind me, so I'm back up to 3rd again, hunting down number 7, who gets a pretty bad run there. So I go to see if I can keep it tucked in on the inside. They just clip the front of my car turning in. That seems to be how things are getting played. The line is getting taken no matter who is there. Number 7, though, gets 2 wheels on the gravel, and I take 2nd position back, and God knows what's going on with P1, as they look like they were going into the pit lane or something. It didn't look like they lost control, but I will gladly take the lead. So all I've got to do now as we enter lap 3 is really just get my cornering right, because a lot of people have been going off. So just keep it nice and tidy, and I'm pretty sure I could do it. I just about get that stopped, and the guys behind me, 2 of them go off wide as well. Number 7 getting quite deep behind me, so losing some serious momentum. And I look like I've got this under control, really. As we go on to the start-finish straight, I get on the throttle slightly too early and just get slowed down and out of shape. I try and get back on the throttle as quickly as I can, but lose first place to East Coast 27. Hopefully I can catch them. I keep it to within half a second, but they held it together, got their braking points right, and didn't go off the track. So unfortunately, I threw this one away because I finished the race just 0.4 behind. It's nice to be on the podium, nice to take a 2nd place. Well done to East Coast in 1st place there. But I can't help but feel that was one that slipped away. So let's go on to the 2nd race then. This is Grand Oak Raceway Reverse. I've qualified 4th, but there's only 7 of us in the lobby. That seems to be a little bit of a theme. There were a few more people in the last race, and there will be a few more people in the next races too. So maybe people just don't like this circuit. I really had some trouble carrying momentum there as somebody absolutely dies on the exit of turn 1. Blast 4332 ends up DNFing, so they've had quite enough for one day after one corner. It's reasonably bunched up after that though, so I'm liking my chances of getting some positions. The pink car goes wide there on the corner, and I gain another position. Deck Dog as well just gets a bit of grass. I feel like that's a position I can take. I brake a little early though because of Igor in front. I know that I'm probably going to run out wide, so I do lose a bit of momentum, and Deck Dog takes the position from me with more momentum. But we are up into 4th again after going all the way back down to 7th at the start of the first lap. But this one carries on being pretty eventful. Bit of contact there. And I try and tuck in underneath Igor, where of course I get the classic turned in maneuver done. So I am effectively last, 6 out of 7, but 7th is DNF'd. It's just a case of trying to keep up with these guys rather than lose momentum to the pack now. So that was a very eventful lap 1. We'll skip ahead now though, where I'm gaining positions pretty much due to other people's mistakes. So Igor goes deep there on lap 3. On lap 4, Deck Dog was off at the side of the road. Blink and you'll miss him. Then Deck Dog quit, and as we pass the pits, I go up into 3rd place. I didn't see on the radar though a car in the pits or anything like that. So somebody else must have quit or got disconnected So we were up to third. That's where we stayed, 4 seconds behind second place. Not too eventful. It was quite an exciting first lap, but once a couple of people had dropped out, that really was it. So well done to Superjet Freak for that win. We'll take third though. We've had a second and a third. Now we're going to go somewhere we haven't been before, would you believe, in one of my multiplayer highlights videos. Yep, it's Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. I didn't bother qualifying, but out of 20 players, neither did another 9 players because I started in 10th place. We're going to stick with this first lap because, of course, once again, it's very, very awkward. There's a few places where it's important to get your braking just right here, especially this one on the run down to quite a slow turn. I get crowded out a little bit of a collision, but nothing too major. But look at these overtakes. Overtake, 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 overtake. Wow, we're up into 7th after losing some places at the start. Tons of 10 XPs there, and we're up into 6th. I'm hoping to maybe get ahead of P5 here as well by being more brave on the brakes, but I was a little bit too brave and I avoid the collision there, but I certainly don't avoid the off track. So I just try and rejoin as responsibly as possible. Look, just sneak it in on the curb, and we are down to 13th once again. So we have been from 10th to about 13th or 14th, up to 7th and back down to 13th again. I feel like if I can keep some momentum though, there are more mistakes to take advantage of in this one. I just sneak up the inside there of Andreski, get turned in on. I might as well stop commenting on getting turned in on, to be honest. You pretty much expect it at this point. I'm behind BRM Ruggiero in 12th, and I will try and just keep it on the inside. I can hear collisions happening all around me. Somebody spinning off there in my rear view mirror. And as we start lap 2, this has been quite an exciting one, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get a win. I brake slightly later, so I get a collision with the car in front. I get a bit better momentum out of the corner though, and then as we brake at the 100-meter board, they think they can outbrake me, but go an absolute mile wide, so I will keep that 11th place, thanks very much. And a spinner in front puts us back into the top 10, so we're back into our starting position. There's a bit of a bang there with Rulo in front and Polish Ranger, so I take 9th place away from Polish Ranger. And now, as we're only on lap 2, it's just a case. Oh, and there goes Rulo. Just a case, I was going to say, of keeping it on the track and hopefully stealing a couple more positions. Well, if people are going to spin off onto the grass, I will quite happily take that, so we are up to P8. I make my own mistake there though, I have to slow right down. Polish Ranger, very respectful, very good with the hazard that is me in front of him, and takes the position fairly. There's a little bit of banging doors, banging wings going on in front now that I'm back into 9th, but I'm in close proximity up to 6th place really. So I take the position once again of Polish Ranger, just about keeping enough speed to make it stick, and they can't outbrake me into the corner there, so we're back up to 8th. That 4 of 5 has just started. There's some big contact there between Nightshade and, is it Edu DJ? Something like that. I'm good at names. Names are my strong point. So we are up to 7th, but can't quite take 6th place off Nightshade. I nearly have a car diving down my inside. I also nearly have contact with Nightshade in front, but for now we keep it clean, and then we will move on to the following lap where we're still battling away for that 6th position. I am a little bit later on the brakes, but can't quite make that stick. But then at the end of the straight, I do outbrake myself a tiny bit. I'm hard on the brakes, just get a bit of a collision, but it doesn't affect either of us too badly. Nearly another one. I don't know if Nightshade's struggling or what. Look, they're coming way off the power again there. I think they're taking defensive lines. Look at that, inside line. So, of course, bang, I end up colliding with them again because I've got a way wider line into the corner. And then at the end of the race, I've got the momentum, but we don't have the distance as they move across to try and cover off. But there just was not the distance to take any more positions. I did manage to get 6th, though, so I think somebody in front must have got disconnected or dropped out or something. So after 3 night races, we're back in the daylight for Watkins Glen. Once again, not qualifying, but starting in 10th, but this time of 13 players rather than 20. This one is quite something though. This is where sort of things have gone downhill. We got 2 podiums. There is a bit of a worse race with some dodgy braking on my part and some dodgy driving on everybody else's part at times too, to come 6th at Mid-Ohio. It was higher than our starting position though. So look at this. Wow, I came off the throttle, just managed to survive that, get a collision from behind, which pretty much serves as a bump draft. Now, braking into the bus stop, always a hairy thing on lap 1. The car just did not turn. Just didn't turn. The cars were on my inside. I tried, but it didn't turn in. So I'm right at the back near enough. Polish Ranger from the last race joins right in front of me, was ghosted, so I went to just take my usual line. They unghosted immediately and I get a 4.5 second penalty for my trouble to add to a slight minor off track I'd had before. So this is really, really not good. They've got to flash the cars or something to show that somebody's coming out of ghost. I was battling for 7th by the end, look, but it was no good. I had a huge penalty anyway, and in fact I lost a position to the car behind because they were within 4.8 seconds of me. So safety A, that's taken a hit. Skill 4950. Come on, turn 10. Let's get penalties sorted out. Actually, it'd be nice to get some kind of warning for cars on ghosting too, wouldn't it? I've got plenty of videos lined up for the next month, so I'll park multiplayer here for now. Take care, and I'll see you soon.